Number 10, the Celebrity Edge. Cost, $1 billion. We kick off our list with the Celebrity Edge. This true beauty was launched at sea in December 2018. She is 1,000.4 feet long and can accommodate a whopping 2,918 passengers who are pampered by 1,377 crew members. This floating luxury hotel has 14 decks. For the interior design, the services of none other than the world-renowned London Kelly Hoppen, the interior architect of the Beckhams, was called upon. The weekly price for this fantastic luxury suite is $52,000. When this does not make your mouth water, you're better off on holiday in the desert. A few cruise thoughts. The captain's advice. When you're feeling a bit naughty, come out of your shell. Be sure of yourself. Take time to relax and coast. Avoid peer pressure. Approach her and make some waves. Avoid she says, "See you later." How to apologize after a drunken night at the cruise bar. Sorry, I was shit-faced. Number 9, Norwegian Bliss. Cost, $1 billion. 20 decks, a capacity to accommodate 4,000 passengers and a further 1,700 crew. Those are the dizzying statistics that this proud Norwegian can present. A few nice highlights of this ship include a 2-story karting racetrack. There is also an 800-seat theater hall and a 20,000-square-foot observation lounge. It's becoming more and more standard to offer plastic surgery on cruise ships. So you can go on board looking like this. And then go ashore looking like this. A guy comes to his plastic surgeon's office and says, "Doc, I'm gonna keep it short. I want to cancel my penis enlargement. My cousin recently underwent a nose job. During the restoration works, a piece of his much too large penis was used. Now, every time he sees a beautiful woman, his nose curls up and starts dripping." Number 8, MSC Bellsima. Cost, $1 billion. The MSC Bellsima was first launched in March 2019. Biggest is at its place here. This colossus can take no less than 5,686 passengers. It has a length of 315.8 meters and a width of 43 meters. For a snack and a drink you can choose from 12 themed restaurants and 20 bars. Cheers! Here are some true cruise horror stories. In March 2013, halfway through a 7-day trip, all elevators and toilets stopped working on the Carnival Dream. The problem was a faulty generator. The consequences were disastrous and the droppings were literally floating around on this cruise. All passengers were flown back to Florida at Carnival's expense. Shit happens. Sometimes, things can turn out right. In 2015 a passenger fell overboard on a Royal Caribbean cruise. A passenger sitting on the balcony of a nearby boat, the Disney Cruise Line ship, heard the man calling for help, hence the guy was saved. Number 7, MSC Maravilla. Cost, $1 billion. This Maravilla comes from the same stable as our number 8. Maravilla means marvelous, and that's exactly what this ship has to offer. This cruiser can pamper 5,714 passengers and has 2,244 cabins. She counts 15 passenger decks and effortlessly outperforms most medium-sized towns in terms of the number of bars and restaurants. When she was launched in 2017, she was the 4th largest cruise ship in the world. What does a mermaid use to call her friends? A shell phone. What would you call the Bermuda Triangle if it had 4 corners? The Bermuda Rectangle. Why do fish swim in salt water? Because pepper makes them sneeze. Number 6, Aenova. Cost, $1.1 billion. This is the first cruiser powered by liquefied natural gas, making it unique in its kind in terms of eco-friendliness. Unless all 6,600 passengers simultaneously experience flatulence. So, it's best not to serve too many beans on board. There is also a 360-degree theater, a full-service spa, 23 bars, and 17 restaurants, so that there is something for everyone in terms of entertainment. We are halfway through our countdown. Stay tuned if you don't want to miss this. Why a bunch of gay men got kicked off the ship and were marooned out in a war zone. How a crew member was rewarded a whopping $4.6 million by a Norwegian Cruise Line company. And it speaks for itself that at the end of this video, we will be revealing the most expensive cruise ship and its dazzling price tag. So by all means, keep watching. Number 5, Norwegian Epic. Cost, $1.2 billion. The Norwegian Epic is a beautiful 2010 ship from Norwegian Cruise Line. It is mainly aimed at families and it shows. You will find a multitude of recreational opportunities such as the obligatory water slides, tennis courts, a basketball court and a volleyball court, spas and plenty of jacuzzis. And for those who prefer to take it a bit easier, you can read a good book at the library. You can dine in the evening according to the freestyle cruising formula. This means that you can freely choose in which of the many restaurants you eat and no city attire is required at the table. The prices are also very democratic. One can cruise for as little as $400 per person. Not really our favorite, but every beast is entitled to have its own feast. Two elderly gentlemen are relaxing in the sun on a cruise ship. One turns to the other and asks, "Have you read Marx?" "Oh yes," the other replies. "I believe it's from sitting on these deck chairs." Inside cabin problems. A couple called down to guest services, complaining that they were stuck and couldn't get out of their cabin. "What's the issue?" answered the purser. "There are only two doors," replied the woman. "One is the bathroom, and the other says do not disturb." Number 4, Harmony of the Seas. Cost, $1.35 billion. Harmony of the Seas of the Royal Caribbean Fleet is one of the largest cruise ships in the world, with a capacity to allow up to 6,687 passengers to be pampered by another 2,200 crew members. It is also very affordable. You can cruise from Port Canaveral to St. Thomas in the Caribbean for 7 nights, for just $900. In addition, this package gets 5.0 out of 5.0 on numerous consumer websites. In addition to all the classics that can be found on most cruise ships, you can enjoy a few nice highlights here. For example, you can take a walk in a replica of Central Park, and to really get into the New York state of mind, you can also get a coffee at Starbucks. Or, you could go and sip a cocktail in the Bionic Bar. Here your drink is completely prepared by a robot arm. This brings us to our next crazy story. Ilya Loncha, a Serbian waiter aboard the Norwegian Breakaway, went to visit Dr. Sebastian Campuzano after experiencing flu-like symptoms. The ship's doctor prescribed him the incorrect medication that reacted so violently against his body's constitution that he had to have his arm amputated in 2016. In court, Loncha was awarded $4.6 million in compensation after this horrible mistake. At Norwegian Breakaway they now call him the One-Armed Bandit. And they offered him a job at the casino section on one of their ships. Number 3, Symphony of the Seas. Cost, $1.35 billion. The Symphony of the Seas is the big brother of our number 4, the Harmony of the Seas. The ship was built in 2018, is 362 meters long and 47 meters wide. It has 18 decks and can accommodate 6,680 passengers. The ship has the ultimate abyss, the longest slide at sea. You slide down no less than 10 decks. Or you can try the surf simulator, the Flowrider. You can also walk to your heart's content in Central Park, the Royal Promenade, or on the boardwalk. Keep walking. A few more weird cruise stories. In October 2017, a couple revealed that they discovered a hidden camera in their bedroom on board the Carnival Fantasy. In statements to USA Today and the South Florida Sun-Sentinel, Carnival said that a video transmitter was found in a guest's bedroom and that it was turned over to the FBI. Victim, Dana White, added, "I just immediately felt like we had been invaded. Our privacy had been invaded. We do hope she wasn't being invaded while they were invading her privacy." This begs the question, does FBI stand for funny boat invasions? Number 2, Oasis of the Seas. Cost, $1.4 billion. This ship from the year 2009 is gradually becoming an old-timer. It offers facilities similar to number 3. With its 362 meters length and capacity to accommodate 6,700 passengers, she is still one of the largest of her kind. Because of its age, the ship no longer excels in originality. A few more cruise incidents worth noting. Actually, this is another great Carnival commercial. We kid you not. When a kidney patient who was checking in for a Jamaican cruise in May 2012, Carnival told her that they couldn't find her portable dialysis machine. The woman who needed nightly dialysis was then escorted off of the ship without any explanation. The ship sailed away with her luggage and the lost medical equipment on board. In a moment we'll reveal why a bunch of gay men were kicked off a cruise ship and were marooned out in a war zone. But first things first. Number 1, Allure of the Seas. Cost, $1.5 billion. The most expensive cruise ship on this planet is Allure of the Seas. This ship is barely 15 millimeters larger than the number 2 and also has to offer practically all the same packages. It is therefore the third leg of the Oasis class offered by Royal Caribbean. To liven up a Holland-America gay cruise, a group of handsome gay men was hired, with the intention of mingling with the passengers. Because the mercenaries were quite expressive, and because they were continuously being photographed and filmed, the gay audience soon realized that something was wrong. The rumor that a porn movie would be secretly shot during the cruise spread around the ship like wildfire. The organizing Holland America changed their minds, and at the first port, in Tunisia, the men were brutally disembarked. At that time in Tunisia, the Arab Spring was underway, a wave of uprisings and protests in the Arab world. The men eventually returned home unharmed but sued